one Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the AFL Tas live stream for the final game of the afternoon. It's part of the AFL Tasmanian Representative Series, and that will be between the NWFL and the NTFA in the men's contest. Two teams just standing opposite one another for the Australian National Anthem. Two coaches on either end, Kurt Byard and Mitch Thorpe, representing the NWFL and NTFA respectively. So far, in today's proceedings, we've had the NWFL get the victory in the Under-19 Road Safety Council of Tasmania. Match by 39 points, 10-9-69 NWFL against the NTFA 4-6-30. And in the women's Terry White-Kenmart fixture, it was the NWFL by the barrister margins 5-6-36 against the NTFA's 4-11-35. Our winners are the best on ground at the venue. In the under-19s for the NWFL was Taj Lilico, and for NTFA it was Lachlan Taylor. In the women's fixture it was Ellie Pope for the NWFL and Grace Weldon for the NTFA, with Courtney Hingston and Jocelyn Freestone winning the Emergency Services Award. Joining me in the commentary for the men's fixture this afternoon will be Jacob Bevis. We're looking forward to another strong contest here from Wilson's Home Park, part of the Dial Park Regional Sports Complex. Jacob, I'd be very interested in your thoughts.
Yeah, expecting a good game. Yeah, expecting a good game this afternoon. The NTFA, of course, beat the NWFL last year, but the NWFL had some changes since then. A lot younger team, so be interesting to see how they stack up. And of course, some former NTFA players have come across to the NWFL in Alex Lee and Bo Nash, so should make for a good game.
Both of those boys, formerly of the Northwest Coast, have just made their way back to the Northwest Coast. Bo originally from Devonport, now playing at Ulverston. Alex also from Devonport originally.
It's hard to believe this is his first time representing the NWFL. He's been around for a while now.
Yeah, well, he was only 16-17 when he last played for Devonport, and then moved to Launceston. And when in Launceston, obviously, he was involved with the Northern Bombers, and he's made a great career out of representing the Northern Bombers. At Devonport, that was back in the State League.
Yes.
Yeah, so long time ago. Now into his mid-30s. 33, 34, I'd imagine Alex would be.
Might be a bit younger than that, but yeah, 30s definitely.
Way back then, that was under the tutelage of Glenn Upwich at Devonport. David Cashin was involved. Shane Lee, his father, currently sits as one of the directors on the NWFL board, and his sister played women's match, and she plays at Penguin. So we'll make an apology if I have offended anyone earlier on in the day by calling this the main fixture. So if anyone has taken offence to that, I sincerely apologise. About to get underway in the men's fixture. Your caller will be Jacob Bevis.
Lee and Tubb going at it in the ruck. It was a pretty even contest between the two. And Harper receives the handball there from Petterwood. Now Hines had it, lost it. Tackle there, ball spills out, and the NWFL, they get it. Quayle receives a handball there from Clemens. Kick only as far as Hines. He handballs it out wide, and the NTFA go forward here towards a one-on-one. It comes off hands. Players collide with the footy, and then it comes out. Clemens received a handball. It's not the best of kicks, though. Out of play. And it will be a free kick to the NTFA.
They're going to Hines. Notice Cody Thorpe's still a little bit ginger after that contest up forward. He's slowly making his way back deep. His younger brother, Jaden. The ball is in the hands of the captain. It's Jake. Plays on. Kicks the ball deep. Unable to take the mark. Good fist by the NWFL. That might have come through Kynan Lee. Devonport player. Ball being kicked out. Again, marked there by one of the VFL players. A Hillwood player, now back at Launceston, I believe. I should remember that name. He used to coach him. Isn't that terrible? That might have been and Jacob. That's right, Boyd. Free kick. Not sure what was that given for. Nonetheless, we've moved at the centre wing position. It's now in the hands of Braden DeVries.
DeVries, his kick couldn't quite be marked there by Kelly. DePoli Qbank receives a handball from Blair Ryan and they go inside 50. And a chance here for DePoli Qbank.
DeVries is coming straight off. I'm not exactly sure as to why. They're making a change. Here comes Bo Nash.
It was Miller Young who kicked it inside 50. My apologies there. So, chance here for Ollie. Kick on its way for the first goal. They've kept it in. It's close to the line. NTFA trying to rush it over, and they do so. So, first score on the board. It's a minor score the way of the home team.
Harper taking the kick in. He used to play at Burnie a number of years ago. Oh no, actually he's taken the mark. My apologies. Find out who he used to play at Burnie. Now at Launceston. Brought the ball back in. Now in the hands of Bennett, Fletcher Bennett. One kick, centre wing position, far side of the ground. Poley lost the football and gave it up there to French. French loses it. Again, ball goes to ground. Getting a kick very quickly was Petterwood. End over end, it goes forward. Inside forward 50 now. Brasendale tries to get back. It's able to somewhat intercept. And they come out through Bond.
So Bond to Young. He's kicking to the centre of the ground, but only as far as Gillow. So the NTFA can go forward once again here. Gillow towards the Cody Thorpe direction, and he's got it. He was able to muscle out Brasendale.
He's much bigger, isn't he, Jacob?
He is. He is a tall unit, that is for sure.
He's as wide as he is tall as well. He's a big, strong man. It's Cody Thorpe.
Runs in the Thorpe family, of course.
And there's his brother.
So Cody Thorpe having a shot for the first goal of the game. Plays for Launceston, of course, in the NTFA. So let's see what he's got. Has he got the kicking boots on? It's missed to the left. Scores level, 1 point apiece.
Kick in, goes to the far side. Defensive side of the ground, no one able to take the mark. Ball comes to ground. Might have been Boyd at the back end. Drops the ball. In fact, it was Hines. There's Boyd, releases. Kick forward by Alexander. No mark. Clean hands there by Nash. Up towards McInnes. A kick forward by the NWFL. Is now taken. Jack Kabicki by hands. Egger. Over to Bogue. Goal. Good start there by... In fact, that's not Kabicki. It's Blair Ryan. Blair Ryan out there? Was there a number 6? I think I saw a number 6 out on the ground. Yeah, so Blair Ryan is out on the ground. Very similar in stature. But a Bogue goal is the result. And not only is he leading the NWFL in the best player competition, he'd be close to leading goal kicker as well, Jacob.
Absolutely.
And he's only played, I think, 4 games.
Yes, he's reminding the Devils selectors at the moment. That is for sure in the last few weeks. So back we go, Lee. That was beautifully tapped down to... It was Nash. gives it off to French. They go inside 50, or towards the 50, I should say, the NWFL. Getting it to it there was Charlesworth. Ball being held up after an enormous tackle by Egger, I think it was, and it's going to be a ball up far side of Dial Park.
Getting a little bit of attention. I think that might have been John McKenzie coming through on Egger. Zanella throws the ball up. Awkward. Lee doesn't get the tap down. Back out to McKenzie. They feed it back. It was Harper. And centre wing position, far side of the ground. Rolls out in front of Liam Davies. Last year's Bulldog medalist with Harry Elmer. Andrew Throne will be the result, 1-1-7. Plays one behind. Advantage to the NWFL. Leeds, tap. Nash, not clean. Again, we're going to repeat. Interesting, they're doing the ruck work with Joby Harper. So, Harper v Lee. I thought they might have used Cody Thorpe. No one able to take it cleanly. McKenzie overruns the football. It's deep on the ground. It's going nowhere. NWFL asking for a free kick. Bottom of the pack will be Josh Burling. And we will repeat with another stoppage.
Lee wins the hit out. NTFA get the kick away. Here's Powerfriman. Goes inside 50 towards a one-on-one. It's one of the Hines. In fact, it was Farrelly, I should say, who couldn't quite take the mark, but he was able to regain it, kick it to the top of the goal square. Good fist coming in there from Brasendale, and the ball has been rushed over for a behind.
So it's 7, plays 2, 5 points the margin. Davies brings the ball out. Really quick. Bennett. And wrapped up in a tackle was the NTFA. That was Burling. He's coming to interchange now. Ball up right in front of us here. Commentary position. Grandstand side of the ground. Lee with a big fist. Gains metres. It's not going anywhere. It's going to go straight out of bounds in front of Dylan Riley. Still also play at Devonport. And then we had it. Is it Deloraine or Meander Valley?
St Pat's, I think it is.
No, it's St Pat's, isn't it? Div 1 comp. No one able to clear. NTFA through hands. By foot, Smith. Centre of the ground. Good clean football. Now in the hands of Thompson. Inside forward 50. No mark. Ball to ground. Good clean pick-up. Taken there by Hyatt. Gives it across to Thorpe. Under pressure, ball goes out of bounds. Releasing free kick to the NWFL.
So Clements to McInnes will pick him up easily today with the blonde hair. And the NWFL continue to work it down the line here. Miller to DePoli. Almost marked there by Nash. Ball at ground level. Players all over the footy here. It's not quite coming out. Umpire's just waiting for a second or two. He still hasn't blown the whistle. And now he has. So a ball up on the outer side. 7 plays 2, NWFL in front.
9.5 minutes into the first term. Harper, body position in front. Elphinston wins the contest, but he's given away the free kick according to the umpire. Because Bogue was running away with the football. It goes to Joby Harper. Obviously surfing does Joby. Kick though, chopped off there by Millie Young. It's part of the squad, the initial squad for the Allies. DePoli. Good kick. Finds some teammates. Goes through the hands. That was Kelly and company. And now another goal. Too easy by the NWFL. Lands in the hands of Peters Chapman. And NTFA, they must have gone to sleep for a minute. DeVries and company were also involved in that chain. And now NWFL, with only 3 times being inside their forward 50, They've got 3 scores on the board, and that's 2-1-13. NTFA 2 behinds.
He's having a good season, Carmichael Peters-Chapman.
He's a good little footballer. I really like what he's got some real spark about him, his speed, and his kicking is very good for the competition. So, last week, a couple of rockets inside the forward 50 to hit up his teammates.
Elphingston in the ruck this time. Taps it down to Nash, was able to get it out to Bogue. Handballs it over to Elphingston. Now Blair Ryan. This is looking good for the NWFL. He runs to the 50-metre line. He unloads. And unfortunately couldn't finish the job.
Ball far side of the ground. Good tackle being applied there by the NWFL. It was done by Bogue. It's been one of the key roles that he's been played when in the VFL side. Harper loses the football in the tackle, goes across the boundary line. It's going to be another boundary throw in. Again, the tackler was Bailey Bogue from the teammate of Harper's way back when. Harper been expected to do a lot up against Elphingston. Wins the tap as Harper comes in. Is that Hines? No. A player and Tommy Graham will repeat the process.
Elphingston wins the hit out. Bogue trying to bust his way through with the footy. A couple of NWFL players just colliding with each other there, quite softly though. And the umpire, I think he's blowing his whistle here. It's going to be a free kick to Blair Ryan. He's a long way from home. Decides to set it up to the top of the goal square. No mark taken. NTFA able to find safety. And it's Isaac Thompson who takes the mark.
Got the short option. Chooses to use it. McInnes gets his fist in. Brings the ball to ground. It's now in the hands of Bailey Bogue. They feed it out wide. Hazelwood. Oh, Lockwood, was it? Across to Blair Ryan. Is that a goal? They're pretty happy about it. The umpires are conferring. Across the body. And I believe it was being touched. One behind. I'm going to go back to the replay here and have a bit of a look. Come back to you on that. Was it touched off the boot? It wasn't touched off the boot. Must have been touched on the line.
Jake Smith to take the kick out, but he's only kicked it to the advantage of one of the co-captains, Jordan Quayle. Free kick going the way of Bailey Bogue by the looks of it. Or is it a 50?
50 to Geordie Quayle.
So this will almost be a certain goal directly in front.
I'm writing it down. I trust him.
First time in the rep team, Jordan Quayle. Co-captaining alongside Alex Lee. He drills it. They've kicked the first 3, the home team. They're on a roll.
And they move out to 3-3, 21. 19 points advanced of the NTFA, which are 2 behinds coming off, was Jesse Buller, member of the under-18 squad up in the north. He's a big, promising lad, very athletic. And brought them across to grandstand side of the ground for the ball up. This time it'll be Alex Lee up against who I thought would have started in the ruck, and that's Cody Thorpe. So moving forward is Jake Hines to full forward, Dylan Riley. Also down there is John McKenzie. Ball comes out wide, intercepted though by Carmichael Peters-Chapman. It's now in the hands of Topoli. Oh, he steps one way, steps the other, gets onto his favoured right boot, makes great contact, just drifts. Has it made the distance? No. Last line of defence, they rush it across the line. That's Jakey Smith. So it's another rush behind. So 3-3, plays 2 behinds.
What a goal that would have been. So McKenzie. They move it quickly here, the NTFA. Here's Harper. Drills it almost down the throat of Riley. Just couldn't quite take the mark on the full. They're still in possession, though, the NTFA up on the outer side. Harper's been tackled and held up. And the umpire will ball it up. Lee and Harper do battle. Lee taps it towards the boundary line. And we're going to get another stoppage.
Boundary throwing will be the result. Harper's up against Lee. So Harper's going to be doing around the ground, it looks like. Thorpe will be moving forward, occasionally taking the centre square. Ball down. It's inside forward 50 for the NTFA. No mark. Hines was the target. Good fist. Late fist. Produced there by Warren. Kick inside. End over end on the last line. I think that might be, it was Kynan Lee. So Lee. Wide. Good mark. Standing under that, the young man. That's DePoli. It's been a live wire early, Jacob.
He has. Probably been best on so far. Very early in the game, though, to be saying that. Towards a contest he goes, and out of play off hands.
Over the back there was Ethan Bond trying to take a specky about 4 deep.
So Lee and Harper to do battle on the ruck once again. A little bit of a wayward throw in. Lee was able to get to it, slap it to DePoli. Q-Bank couldn't quite pick it up. And then the NTFA players were able to... No, in fact, it's a free kick going the way of the visitors.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion there. Kick in by Tommy Graham, who received the handball. Thorpe's the target, unable to take the mark. Here's a go for them. Or it rolls end over end, and it's in front of Ben Hyatt. Couldn't quite pick up who that player was who kicked it through, but it's another behind for the...
McGuinness out wide to Miller Young. Took a mark of the year contender a couple of weeks ago. Against Wynyard it was. Here's Warren. Back to Young. Just chipping it around at the moment. Now Young's kick was partially smothered. Bo came in though for support, was able to collect it. And then give it off to Young, but he's kicked it straight into the hands of Riley. Dangerous man to turn the footy over to. 18 goals for St Pat's this season. Looks like he's going to have a shot. From long range, he'll be kicking from just outside 50. He runs his arc, and that is superb. NTFA on the board with their first goal through the boot of Dylan Riley.
3-4 plays at 1-3, and that was a superb kick there by Dylan Riley. In the same shape he was when he was playing at Devonport years ago.
Played for Launceston too for a period. He was
certainly was a very good player in the State League. He was an exceptional footballer. He hasn't lost any of that talent. And he's kicking boots on. So 3-4-22 plays 1-3-9. NWFL up by 13 points. Ball back into the middle. And this time they're throwing Tubb into the middle against Lee. Kick off the ground. It came through Palfreyman. Stopped though. Nash got his kick away. He's gone wide. He's looking for Miller Young. Cross half back. He was up to the task. Brings it back in. Clemens. McInnes. Oh, great agility. Good kick. Finds Blair Ryan.
Handballs it straight away to the running Clemens. Kicks it to half forward. Falls out the back of a one-on-one. Trying to control it there is Jaden Hines. Handballs it off. They try to work it through hands, the NTFA, but it's come unstuck. They'll end up with it here, though, the visitors. Here's Bueller. Down the line, McGuinness nearly took a specky. Couldn't quite hang on to it, though. Gets the handball back, does McGuinness to Clemens, taps it on to McGuinness. Decides to kick it off the deck, and I think it might have gone out of play before all that. So boundary throw in. NWFL leading 22-9.
Played 22 or 21 and a half minutes. First term. AFL Tasmania Premier Representative Series. Punch there by Lee. Picked up and released by the NTFA Palfreyman, trying to get the handball across to his teammate in Graham. They feed that ball back out. This time it went through Boyd. Boyd's kicks wide to Hines. Riley. Good penetrating kick, looking for Thorpe. Brings it to ground. Jake Hines is there. Brother helps mop up, kicks the ball back into Thorpe. He's wrapped up in a tackle. Strong tackle by Brasendale, brings him to ground. And we'll get a ball up. Just ticked over the 22 and a half minute mark. 22 plays 9 in favour of the NWFL.
Thorpe and Lee in the ruck. Lee might have just won that. Bogue receives the handball, and that's going to do us.
That's a short quarter.
It is. That snuck up on us quickly. So quarter time at Dial Park, and the NWFL, they hold the early advantage, 3-4, 22 to 1, 3-9.
Goal kickers for the NWFL, 3 single goal kickers, Bailey Bogue, Carmichael Peters-Chapman and Geordie Quayle, courtesy of a 50-metre penalty for the NTFA. It was the single goal kicker, that being Dylan Riley, with a beautiful shot, set shot from outside 50 with that penetrating right boot of his. As we see Jake Hines have a bit of a chat there with Mitch Thorpe down on the interchange. And he's going to make his way back to the centre of the ground. Also have a bit of a yarn with other members of the coaching staff from the NTFA. He's a little bit unhappy with the service that he has received. Some better players for the NWFL in that quarter, Jacob?
Well, Dipoli Qbank has to be top of the queue, I reckon. He's having a good game. Alex Lee, he's dominating the ruck early, I think. They're sort of mixing it around, the NTFA, in the ruck at the moment, trying to deal with him. I'd probably put Miller Young, even though he did turn it over there to Dylan Riley. He's done some good things. Blair Ryan's been superb as well, and I'm sure the list doesn't stop there.
No, I'd imagine there'd be a few other contributors, such as like Peters-Chapman up front, along with Geordie Quayle. They're just making sure that when the football gets inside the forward 50, they're making hay while the sun shines. For the NTFA, for mine, Fletcher Bennett and Joby Harper have been prominent. Harper's been asked to take on an extraordinary task, not only around the ground, but also in the middle at times as being the nominated ruckman. I thought Jaden Hines gave some run across halfback and also that wing position. Isaac Thompson was good. In and under was Palfreyman. I thought he at times looked really strong. And then Dylan Riley as a target up forward is starting to create some headaches for the defenders for the NWFL. We're going to take a break at quarter time from Wilson Holmes Park, part of the Dial Park Regional Sports Complex. You're watching AFL Tas live stream, where we are undertaking the first round of the AFL Tasmania Representative Series, and it's the two combatants, the NWFL versus the NTFA.
So I hit the ground running so hard, whittle my soul away. Try to keep my hopes up, they keep falling down. And every new heartbreak hurts a little more than the last time around. I made a lot of half-hearted mistakes, but I worked so hard on this one, gave her my everything. Was a losing battle, so I'm laying down. And every new heartbreak hurts a little more. Every new heartbreak hurts a little more than the last time around. Now let her go, oh Lord, just let it be.
Welcome back for the second quarter of the AFL Tasmanian Representative Series. First round between the NWFL and the NTFA. At Wilson Holmes Park, part of the Dial Park Regional Sports Complex. Currently, it's the NWFL, a 13-point buffer, 3-4-22, leading the NTFA 1-3-9, taking the call. Start of the second quarter is Jacob Bevis.
Even contest between Lee and Thorpe in the ruck. Here's Powfriman, goes inside 50. Riley's already kicked a goal, decides to give it off, and from a very tight angle there was Burling, and he just couldn't quite get it through the centre.
They take the ball, far side of the ground now, the NWFL. Using it well. Smart. French. By hand to Bogue. To Poley. Just on ground today. Uses his non-dominant side. It's a bit up and under. Sitting underneath the football. The NTFA player. That was Jake Smith, and he's a bit confused about what's going on because a free kick has been given to number 26, and that's Carmichael Peters-Chapman. So I'm not 100% sure either. Might get Jacob to have a look at the replay, and he might be able to give us a bit of an insight as to what happened there. Maybe he was pushed into the contest. He's within range on his home deck. It's not a bad looking kick. And 6 points will be going the way of Carmichael Peters-Chapman. He's got one in the first, he's got one in the second. And that is damaging very early in the start of the second quarter to the NTFA. Did you see the replay,
Just a little
Jacob?
push, I think, was what I picked up from the replay. Wasn't a whole lot in it, though, in all fairness.
So 3 goals the margin, 4-4 plays 1-4, advantage to the NWFL. Quick around the grounds. The VFL and the Tasmanian Devils, Jacob, how did the men's side go? Because I believe the women are currently underway against North Melbourne.
I think it was 14 points I told you at quarter time.
So 14 points to the advantage of Tasmania?
Yes.
Excellent.
Go the Devils. So back in the middle, Lee and Thorpe do battle. Lee tapped it down. Emick French couldn't quite get a handle on it. He might have been taken high in the process of all of that, and he was.
Looks a bit frustrated as Jake Hines.
So French kicks it inside 50 towards Logan Elphinston, falls out the back to Egger, wants to handle it to Rushton. It did get to him eventually, but then he was dispossessed. And now the NTFA come away with the footy. They work it through hands here. Jake Smith handballing it out wide, picking it up there was Harper. They continue to work it through hands. Powfriman combining there with Gillow, who got the kick, but only as far as Alex Lee, who lost his footing there.
Standing in the same position as what Max Gawn would have, just down the line. Does a kick similar to Max Gawn, straight up and down, but it goes about 40 metres inside the forward 50. Gillow releases to Hines. Hines to his brother, Jake, variety. Inside to Pelfreman, unable to take the mark. Brushes off a would-be tackler. Receives the football again, kicks inside forward 50. Thorpe brings the ball to ground. Good contest applied there by Lee. And Buller then applies the tackle on top of Brasendale. And we're going to get a ball up. No, a free kick. Free kick to Brasendale. Must have been over the shoulder. He goes across the face of goal. Grandstand side. It's now in the hands of Kynan Lee.
So Lee to the wing, Elphiston direction. Ball didn't quite carry, but it's going to be a free kick here against Elphiston.
Yeah, he hasn't impacted today. I would have thought he might have.
So receiving a handball there was Gillow from Alexander. Kicks it very wide, and that's going to be
big fist.
No, in fact, it's going to be a ball in.
Yeah, big fist there by Bowen Clemens. So coming across, good defensive measure there by the young and up-and-coming player out of Ulverston. Younger brother is currently in the under-18 AFL Tasmania Academy. Ethan. Harper tries to take it. Nash feeds it out to Bond. Bond's kick taken by Gillow. And then that might be Smith. Is wrapped up in a tackle. It's not going nowhere. Off the bottom of the deck was Jake Smith. Solid, rugged on baller. Lee with the tap is being held. He's going to receive the free kick. An advantage has been given to NWFL. Bogue, inboard, finds DePoli. Good kick. Hits his intended target. An intended target is Lachlan Kelly, who's a sharpshooter from the Devonport Football Club. And Jacob, one would imagine that this is well within his range.
Missed a couple against Burnie last week, though. He was a little bit inaccurate. He's directly in front, kicking from just inside 50. It's on its way. It's got the carry, but not the accuracy. Missed the lot.
Yeah, so strike against his name there. Again, commentators Moz. They don't waste any time, the NTFA. Across half back. Ball's in the hands of Jake Hines. Hadn't touched it in the first quarter. Comes inboard. Finds McKenzie. He goes further afield. Polfreman over to Harper. Harper's kick. It's a beautiful long kick, and that's a great mark. Searching lead in the hands of Cody Thorpe.
Thorpe goes inside 50. Oh, wow! What a mark. That is Kynan Lee. He's having some sort of season. And he can just add that to his resume in 2026.
Standing on the shoulders of giants, Alex Tubb there.
So they work it towards Clemens through Foot, who just took the mark inside the field of play. It was very tight, though. Kicks it to the wing. Hines there, couldn't quite mark, falls to Quayle. Just kept it in front of him. Powerfreeman now. Working it through hands. Dispossessed there was Charlesworth. Umpire says play on. Bogue fumbles it. Tries to get it back. Coming in hard there was Quayle. And then he follows up with a tackle on Powerfreeman. So a stoppage just in front of us.
Beautiful endeavour there by Jordan Quayle. Great energy and spirit by the co-captain. He's going to get the ball back here from the stoppage. Feeds it back. Gives it to Topoli, his teammate at Ulverston. Even up and under kick, but it's inside forward 50. But there's no one home for the NWFL. Good mark is taken there by Jacob Boyd. So Boydie kicks the ball towards centre wing position. No mark. Good contest. On the contest, the ball goes end over end across the boundary line in front of Jaden Hines. We'll get a boundary throw in. Standing on the shoulders of giants, Kynan Lee. What a grab, Jacob.
Oh, that's the highlight of the day so far, no question. So Harper and Elphinstone. Pretty even contest between the two in the end. Running onto it is DeVries. Fumbled it to Quayle. His handball was straight to the opposition. And now the NTFA work it through hands. Here's Thompson. Good kick. Finds Graham. Graham in the centre square, basically on the centre circle. Inside 50 he goes, doesn't find a target. Ball falls to ground. Thorpe coming in and collecting, but has been wrapped up. And pinged.
Yeah, no attempt to get it free. So we go over the top of the football these days.
It's a good tackle there by Brasendale.
Just smart, using his body weight. Goes wide. Into the hands of Warren. Warren goes further. Clemens. Miller. Young. Nephew of Brady and Jade. Rawlings. Loses possession though. He's trying to get it to McInnes. Harper. He feeds it to McKenzie. Kick inside forward 50 for NTFA. It's not great, but good work and service has been provided there by Burling to Thorpe. Play on, says the umpire. Kicker on the goal. Oh, Dill Riley has an airy, and Liam Davies takes it across for a rush behind.
NWFL have a chance to attack here, although that kick's not great. Getting a hand on it there was Thompson. Follows up with a tackle. In fact, he might have been the tackle up. No, in fact, it was a free kick to Liam Davies.
Must have been over the shoulder. I'll try to check that on the replay.
De Vries goes out wide to DePoli Qbank. Just waits for the moment. Kicks it short. Sherenegger continues to go towards the centre square, but that's not a great kick. Straight to Smith. His handball, though, straight to Blair Ryan. Kicks it to centre half forward, but they turn it over the NWFL.
The kick by Brown goes wide. It's now in the hands of Gillow. Shares it with his teammate. And Boyd's kick finds its intended target. That's Burling. Burling to Thorpe. Unable to take the mark. Good defensive pressure applied by Brasendale. And after an early start and dominance by Katie Thorpe on Brasendale, Brasendale's even the measure. In the latter half of the first and early part of the second term, we have played 10 minutes into the second term. The score is 28-11, 17 points in favour of the NWFL. They feed it back. Brasendale over to Davies. Trusty left boot coming out of the back half. Ooh, good fist over the top. That was applied by Alexander. But a free kick, according to the umpire, has been given away.
Emick French receives it and then kicks it down towards DePoli Qbank. It was. Just kicks it out wide towards a one-on-one. Comes off hands. DePoli Qbank coming in to try and mop up the mess, but it goes out of play. So boundary throw in. Closer to the NWFL's forward 50 more than anything. Elphingston and Harper. Elphingston wins the hit out, taps it very well down the throat of De Vries.
He had his head taken off there.
And he's going to be rewarded with the free kick.
Yeah, that was a bit crass there by McKenzie. Across the top of the noggin. So De Vries, usually a good user of the football. Ooh, no exception. Ryan was the target. Hines almost beat him to it. Comes back out to Ryan. He gives it to DePoli Qbank across the body. He's on fire, this young man. He's having a ripping season. And today, in the representative game, he's the accumulator. There's no doubt about that. And you can put that one down. It's his first and the second for the NWFL in the second term. They move to 5-4-34. 23 points advanced to the NTFA, 1-5-11. We're coming up, Jacob, to 12 and a half minutes into the second term.
Just a bit harder at the contest at the moment in the NWFL.
Yeah, they certainly are. Ball movement, they're just crisper at times.
Absolutely.
That's the only difference, I think, between the two sides.
So Thorpe in the ruck this time. Gee, they're really mixing it around with their ruckman at the moment. Up against Elphingston. Thorpe might have just won that on that occasion. Dispossessed and then getting it back was Thompson, and then he was taken high, and he lets Ethan Bond know all about it. So Thompson looking to boot it inside 50 for the visitors. Can he find Tubb? Not quite. Doesn't matter though, because it's going to be a free anyway. a goal kicker this year for Launceston is Alex Tubbs. Kicked the 26 goals in the NTFA. Premier Division, of course.
I prefer the position he's in now than what he was last time the ball came down there. He was underneath Gordon Lee.
So they need a goal, the NTFA. They've only got one on the board. Alex Tubb kicking from about 40 metres, I'd say. It's on its way. It's a little bit wobbly, but it's there. So a much-needed goal for the visitors, and it comes through the boot of Alex Tubb.
So 2-5-17 plays 5-4-34. Still advantage to the NWFL. We're coming up to the 15-minute mark of the second quarter. This will be a bit longer than the first term. Only went almost 23 minutes. I thought it was 25 plus time on, but maybe I was wrong. Thorpe into the middle, up against Lee. DeVries in there. Polfreeman, takes out his own teammate in Thorpe. Nash gets on the end of it, kicks the ball towards centre forward with their space. Getting back there first and running through with Fletcher Bennett. They bring the ball to centre wing position. Ball's now in the hands of Petterwood. Up towards half forward. Mark being taken by McKenzie. McKenzie wastes no time. Kicks inside forward 50, looking for a leading Dylan Riley and finding him. That's a good mark. He's still got great spring in his step as Dylan Riley. On an acute angle. Nonetheless, watching what he did before from outside 50, opposite end of the ground, got full faith in Dylan Riley. Again, another quick one here. Would create a little bit of doubt in the minds of the NWFL players. Kick. Had the commentary was put on it, and thus it's gone out of bounds on the full.
So McInnes to take the kick. Bernie youngster, of course. Kicks it down towards the contest. Elphingston in amongst it. But the NTFA deal with it well, although that kick is very risky. DeVries just bombs it inside 50. It's a one-on-one. Kelly up against Gillow. Gillow wins that time and finds the safety of Jake Smith. Works it out wide, but DeVries comes in and intercepts it and then kicks it inside 50. And taking the mark there for the NWFL is Lockwood. Decides to pass it off. It wasn't the best, but it's all going to work out. Dribbling it through is Bo Nash. Ulverston recruit. And the NWFL respond.
Too easy. Way too easy. Poor defensive application by the NTFA. The margin now moves out to 23 points. It could have been much closer, so 12 points a differential. Had Dill Riley kicked truly, nonetheless it was from an acute angle. But that hurts, and that deflates a side that has been brought together from the region, from the three different divisions.
So back in the middle we go. Free kick going to be given to Bogue here. So Bailey Bogue, Devils listed player, of course, plays for Burnie. Ethan Bond now in possession. Played in the rep team last year. Kicks it to centre half forward. Doesn't find a target. And as a result, the NTFA looking to rebound off half back, although giving it up there was Ethan Petterwood, and the NWFL away.
It's now in the hands of DePoli. He goes short inside looking for Elphingston. The big man just gets his hand to it, knocks it to the advantage of his teammate. Having a shot on goal across the body. That might be Sharon Egger. And he eats that for breakfast to Sharon Egger. And that's his first for the game. He's had some pretty qualitative touches throughout the course of the first half today too, as Sharon Egger one of the co-captains at Wynyard, former North Launceston and Devonport player in the State League, premiership player at North Launceston, also former under-18 state representative. That margin extended now to 39, not 39, 29 points, isn't it? 7-4-46 to 2-5-17. We're coming up to about the 19-minute mark of the second term.
Thorpe beats Lee in the ruck, taps it down the throat of Powerfrman, who was able to run around and then kick it inside 50. Doesn't find a target. Comes out here for Kynan Lee. And that ball not going anywhere. It's going to be a ball up inside the NTFA's forward 50.
So Thorpe v Lee. Thorpe wins the tap. Down to Mackenzie. Harper across the body. Bounces. Hines on his non-dominant side across the face of goal. Unfortunately, doesn't get the result he's looking for.
Gee, you'd back him in to kick those 99% of the time, McInnes. Kicks it to Clemens. Now to the wing he goes. Falls out the back.
Great tackle by DePauli.
Being tackled there was Hines. He's going to get rewarded, DePauli Qbank.
It's the Jaden variety, younger brother of Jake. Being the dominant player on the ground. Is that 15? According to the umpire it was. He gets the ball back from Bogue. Centre wing, it's a poor disposal though. Nash covers up for him, applies the tackle, but according to the umpire it was a slinging motion. The free kick will go to Benny Hyatt.
So Hyatt looks one way, decides to take on the man on the mark in Sharon Egger, and then kicks it down the ground. That is a
good
mark there by Kynan Lee. He's done a bit of that.
And that was Lockie Warren, actually.
Lockie Warren, my apologies, as Davies kicks it into the centre, but turns it over. And now the NTFA can attack here. Hines all alone, takes an uncontested mark, shrugs off McInnes, looks towards the sticks, and misses.
And he is filthy with himself. He knew what he was going to do all day long. You know he's a left footer. He's definitely going to step inside. Finn overplayed. And right into the hands of Jake Hines, but unfortunately couldn't deliver with the finish.
So the NWFL bring it outside their defensive 50 here towards a contest. They go. Plenty of players fly for that one. It falls out the back here to Jaden Hines. He's been met with company though. That company Clemens. Elphinston now involved as well. Elphinston was able to feed a handball out to his fellow ruckman in Lee, who kicks it towards centre half forward. That is a good mark by Egger, but the umpire says play on. And now the NTFA are back in possession here. They try to get something going. Clobbered there was Boyd. NWFL now have it.
Another beauty.
Rushton has been pinged.
That was like a suplex off the top rope.
Plenty of pressure in this one, and a free kick going the way of Charlesworth.
That was young Jackie Rushton. So, NTFA wide. Now in the hands of Hyatt. Scoreboard side of the ground. Target was Burling, unable to take the mark. He was under some good pressure there by Bowen Clemens. Ball across the boundary line in front of the scoreboard. 7-4-46 plays 2-7-19. Coming up to the 20. It's only 22 and a half on the scoreboard. Time-wise, 7-4-46. Might be just playing 20 minutes plus time on. So 7-4-46 versus 2-7-19. In that quarter, we saw the NWFL kick 4 goals straight to NTFA 1 goal 4. Goal kickers for the NWFL. 2 to Carmichael Peters Chapman, both 1 in each quarter. And single goal kickers are as follows: Bo Nash, Sharon Egger, and DePauli Qbank, Oliver. All in the second quarter in the first term. 1 to Bailey Bogue and 1 to Geordie Quayle. For the NTFA, it's 1 each to Dylan Riley won in the first and Alex Tubb won in the second. And Tubb was part of that spectacular mark taken there by Kynan Lee in that second term. And he also had the opportunity to convert, which he duly did, and was able to make amends for being standing underneath Alex Lee. But at the moment, it's all the NWFL. And they hold a substantial margin of 27 points at half-time. So, if you were Mitch Thorpe, Jacob Bevis, what would you be saying to your troops who have gathered here together to represent the NTFA?
Would just be a bit tougher around the contest, I think. They're getting outworked, especially around the stoppages as well.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Mitch does say, whether he actually gives them a bit of a roast or whether he tries to bring them together and ask them for possibly more effort. I'd say a lot of it isn't so much about the effort, it's more about the execution. And here's Ant Taylor, former coach of Launceston, going in, and also at Scottsdale, to have a listen to what they've got going on. Part of the NTFA men's side. Better players for the NWFL at the moment. I think the player that we all think is dominating and has had the most possessions, it's Oliver Topola Qbank. Can't underestimate, though, the impact that Bailey Bogue is having on the contest. Also, Blair Ryan and Sharon Egger have been fantastic, along with Bo Nash. And then occasionally, Darcy Brasendale has been able to get on top of his opponent, that being Cody Thorpe, down forward. And Alex Lee giving them some good service in the ruck. For the NTFA, Jacob Bevis.
Got a few circled here. Jake Smith, I think's playing well. Jaden Hines has had some moments. Brody Powerfrman would have to be up there leading the disposals at the moment. He's getting a bit of the footy. And maybe Jacob Boyd's had a little bit as well. Hard to really come up with a clear standout, though, for the NTFA.
No, I like the work that Jacob Boyd's been providing across half-back.
Yes.
It was good to see Jake Hines start to get in towards the contest. Didn't make the opposition pay. Unfortunately, he has 2 behinds to his name, but there's no doubt it was better intent by him, as well as making sure that he's got his hands on the football. He looks forward to seeing what he can do in this second half. We're going to take a break here from Wilson Park Home, part of the Dole Park Regional Sports Complex. We hope that you are enjoying the AFL Tasmanian Representative Series. This is the men's game, final game for today, in round number 1. You can catch the second half on the AFL Tas live stream very shortly. Welcome back to the AFL Tas live stream for the Tasmanian Representative Series, round number 1, NWFL versus the NTFA. And at half-time, it's the NWFL in the men's fixture, 7-4-46, leading NTFA, 2-7-19. About to get underway at the start of the third quarter. Kick us off, Jacob Bevis.
Alex Lee up against Thorpe in the ruck to start the third quarter of this opening Representative Series match. Lee off the deck after Mackenzie lost it. Boyd trying to gather it. NWFL trying to manufacture something, but the NTFA, they're able to work it through hands. Powerfriman receives a handball, kicks it in the Hines direction, couldn't quite mark. Kynan Lee, or Warren it was actually, did very well on that occasion. Ball close to the boundary line. Tubb keeps it in, goes for the snap. It's a bouncing ball, but it bounces out of play. Boundary throw in. NTFA's forward 50.
Ball in. They need to get on the scoreboard quickly, the NTFA. To Boy Spirits. Boundary throw in. Lee wins the tap against Thorpe. No one able to take clear possession except for Jake Hines. He has a shot across the goal face. Unfortunately, stays to the near side and goes through for one behind.
McInnes. Short to Clemens. Clemens looking down to the wing where we're positioned in the DeVries direction. Did well. He's a hard nut, Braden DeVries, and takes a brilliant mark and then goes into the centre square to Blair Ryan. Good build up here by the NWFL. Boyd gives it off to Nash. Nash goes out wide to Quayle, I think it is, and good kick.
Goal kicker.
Finds Carmichael Peters Chapman.
Done a searching lead there too. He's been elusive and dangerous up front. And he's got two straight to his name. Take us home, Jacob.
This would probably be the hardest of all of those shots that he's had today. The Penguin youngster loads up, doesn't have the accuracy or the distance. Still in play, falls to Ryan, goal.
Too easy. Just too easy. No manning of the players that stayed down from that pack. And he will gobble up an opportunity whenever he sees it. And this margin is now blowing out to 32 points. So 6 goals required in order to be able to stem back and or take back the lead. On the NTFA contest last year went in the opposite direction. This year the NWFL, as Gary Carpenter mentioned, got some new blood within. And they're making the most of their opportunity. Umpire says that's holding the football. So the free kick will go to Nash. Trying himself being back at home. Northwest Coast, French. The kick was towards Elphingston. Going without it was to Poley. Elphingston jumps on top of the NTFA defence. Ball comes knocking out again. No one able to clear. Boyd by hand. That goes to Harper. Good kick, centre wing position. Oh, great mark. He was pushed into that. That was Brasendale.
Now Bogue takes the mark just outside the 50. Called to play on by the umpire. So he kicks it towards the top of the goal square. Can someone mark for the NWFL? In fact, it's the opposite. Jake Smith did well. And now the NTFA can reload here. Isaac Thompson in possession of it now. Looking across the goal face. Oh. And was able to get it to safety. Alexander to Smith. Kicks it towards a one-on-one. Brasendale up against Tubb, but the NWFL come away with it, but taking a good interceptive mark there is Gillow.
Gillow uses that trusty left boot out towards the scoreboard side, finds the target. That was Petalwood. They waste no time. long towards half forward. Making a case and winning it was Hyatt. Inside forward 50. Target is Cody Thorpe. One grab at it. Doesn't quite get there. Hines at the bottom. Gives it back to McKenzie. His shot. Top of the goal face. No one able to take it. Riley's there. The NTFA. The NWFL are working it out together. Riley back. Applying some pressure. Cops around the noggin. Has a shot across the bow. Gets to the top of the goal square. Ball comes clean for the NWFL into the hands of Davies, and he relieves with a skyrocketing kick out towards the back 50 mark.
Alex Tubb.
Might be within range too.
Yeah.
Tubby. It's already a good kick.
Already kicked one today. He's going to try his luck. Might as well. They've only kicked a couple of goals, the NTFA. Desperately need one here to stay in touch. So Alex Tubb sends the ball on its way. It's low. Should be touched through, and it is for a rush behind.
So, third rush behind for the NTFA today. That was a flat-looking punt. So Lee brings it out, finds McInnes. French. Nash. Halfback. Looking for Topoli. Up to the task. Wasn't clean. Elphinstone comes to join him. NTFA are able to take it away. That was from Alexander to Petterwood. Petterwood's kick almost taking a huge mark over the back. That might have been Davies. Harper now. His kick on his non-dominant goes straight up and down. It lands in the hands of Bogue. He wastes no time. Wasn't 15 according to the umpire. So taking on defence. The NTFA kicks to the top of the goal square. Thorpe unable to get it. Ball rushed through in front of Dill Riley. It's their fourth behind. It's been rushed for the game, Jacob.
They're getting some repeat inside 50s here, the visitors, but just not able to get the score on the board to show for it. So big long kick. Nearly taking a mark on the chest there was Lee. Comes back inside 50 for the NTFA. Tubb was searching for it. He then gathered it and then gave it off. They go to the top of the goal square, the NTFA. Here's Buller. Kick was smothered. Kynan Lee just clears it away to the centre square. No mark taken in that pack, although the NTFA might come away with it here. And McFrench doing his best to stop it, and now the ball is at ground level and picked up by Quayle. Topoli Cubank now receives a handball, gives it off to Blair Ryan, just fumbled it at a crucial moment, regained it. Now Topoli Cubank to load up from outside 50 just about, and he misses it to the near side.
1 goal, 1 to his name. 53 plays 22, 31 points to margin. And under the ground. Replacing Liam Davies is Ethan Bond. Davies, formerly of Longford. Had played also up at North Launceston for a period. Kicked there by Smith after receiving the handball from Harper. Good mark in the pack, taken by the young fellow from NTFA, Hunter Farrelly. Goes inboard. And finds Polfrim. No, it's not Polfriman. In fact, it was McKenzie. Got another opportunity. Ooh, across the body. Doesn't quite make it, was Hyatt. And it goes to the near side for one behind.
McGuinness to take the kick out for the home team. Goes short to Brasendale. Ooh, Topoli Cubank there was taken high. And he hasn't moved, although now he has. In fact, it's Miller Young. So Miller Young from Devonport. Kicks it to the wing on the outer side towards the contest. Elphinstone involved. Couldn't quite hang on to it. Ball spills out. Trying to go with the footy there was Graham. Was able to feed it out, but there's a free kick here. And it's going the way of the NWFL. Egger.
So Egger has the football in his hands. Oh no, it's Bogue. Bogue it is. Inboard. De Vries. De Vries goes long. That's not. Oh, that's a poor looking kick. The attention, I think, was to Poley. It didn't quite have the distance on it. Boyd. But he just turns the footy back over. So they're going to get a repeat inside 50 here. Egger gives it to McInnes on the fly. Short. Who's the target? Elphinston. Getting in the way, though, was Peters Chapman. And they're going to release by a chain of handballs. Graham got time and space. His kick does finally find Hyatt. He goes further afield. And they're on here. Hines, Jake Hines. He's got time and space. He can have a bounce. He can head it over to Cody Thorpe if he wants, or split the middle. Takes the ladder. Jake Hines. Desperately needed goal. Oh, was it touch? No, it's a goal. My apologies. I thought all of a sudden the goal umpire was only bringing out one flag, not two. But they were rolled up together. And leading by example, Jake Hines, the sharpshooter, hasn't been that sharp in front of goals today. He's kicked 1 goal, 3 to his name. But he brings them within striking distance. It's 3-11-29 the NTFA, NWFL, 8-5-53.
They've probably been the better team in this third quarter, the NTFA.
At least they're trying something. They're actually trying to put together what they've been working on for a few weeks under Thorpe.
Lee wins the hit out, but only taps it to the opposition. Kick towards half forward. Powerfreeman had it, and then follows up with a tackle on Emick French. So the umpire will ball it up.
A few positional changes as well as implementation.
Thorpe taps it down the throat of Peter Wood, but it's going to come back to Alex Lee for a free kick.
Not exactly sure what it was for. He just hosed the leg into it. End over end it goes. Young almost, Topoli almost gets his hands on it. Egger's taken the NTFA player a little bit too high, and receiving the free kick will be Gillo. Goes on to that trusty left. Good young player in the NTFA. Finds Harper. He's lost none of his skill, that man, even though he's getting into his mid-30s. Mid to late 30s, I should say. The kick, though, by Fletcher Bennett, who he handed it to, was a poor one. And taking the mark across half-back is Bowen Clemens.
Good mark there by Clemens. Although the ball has been turned over. So they go inside 50, the visitors.
Ooh,
gee, that's
mark.
a strong mark. Dylan Riley.
Not paid.
Maybe didn't take it. Thorpe sends the NTFA towards the
mark.
pocket, and Jake Hines doing what Jake Hines does best.
Too strong for Lockie Warren. Great body positioning. Going to have to kick on his non-dominant side, though.
It's definitely lifted in this third quarter. Just has to finish. He goes for the snap, and he's got it. Executed perfectly. And the NTFA are putting themselves back in this contest.
2 goals, 3. 2 of those goals have come in this third term in the space of a couple of minutes. And it might just give them the impetus that they need. 18 points the difference, 8-5-53, 4-11-35, advantage to the NWFL. And there's still time on their side. We've come up to the 13.5 minute mark. I think it's 20 minutes plus time on. Time is of the essence, so they need to execute. Thorpe into the ruck, up against Elphinston. Elphinston wins this one down. French gives it away though. Harper kicks it off the outside of the boot. Tubb, or it was the target, unable to take the mark. McInnes applies the tackles. The ball goes to ground. Umpire says, I will have it. Top of the 50 metre arc. And we'll have a ball up 14 minutes into the third term.
Thorpe and Elphinston. Harper came in to try and collect it. Nash got a little dinky kick away to the advantage of McInnes. Couldn't quite hang on to it. Hines involved with the Jaden variety, but it comes out for the NWFL. They work it through hands. Bo Nash chips it short to DePoli, Q-Bank, and then he kicks it to the 50. Now, Emick French has got a task here because there's plenty of NTFA players. Although, they might come out of it well here, the home team. Gee, that's a big tackle applied there by Lockwood. And we're going to get a ball up inside 50 for the NWFL.
Ticked over 15 minutes. Third term. Lee wins it down. Straight to Ryan. Good tackle applied by McKenzie. Got the ball in hand, the NTFA. They've lost it. And it's going to be rushed through for a behind. So 54 plays 35.
So Jake Smith to take the kick out. He's looking to the grandstand side. Warren comes in to try and mark it. Falls to Bo. Gives it off to Bo Nash. And then he was able to get rid of it to Emick French inside 50. Not quite marked there by Kelly, I think it was.
Peters Chapman,
in fact. And the NTFA can issue an attack here on the outer side wing.
They come back in towards the centre. It's a risky kick, but it comes off. Good mark, taken under pressure by Harry Charlesworth. Wastes no time. Goes further across the field laterally. Finds Paul Freeman. Gives it to the running defender in Thompson, who's short kick. Finds a leading captain, and that's Jake Hines. And he's starting to make his presence felt. One of the premier players in the state is Jake Hines when he's on song. We're right behind him here. Right side for a left footer. Doesn't have enough penetration on the kick. It draws, but doesn't come back. 2-4 to his name.
Here's Kynan Lee. Just bombs it towards a contest. Slip through the hands of Kelly. NWFL work it through hands here. Emick French chipping it in the Rushton direction. One bounce into his hands. Kick partially smothered. Buller now involved. Here's Jake Smith flirting with the boundary line. Back to Buller. It's been tackled over. And we're going to get a ball in. Close to the NWFL's forward 50.
He's playing with danger. Buller. He went across the boundary line. Pressure in this third quarter. He's up. Miller to Poley. Egger. I don't know how he stepped out of that phone booth, but he did. Gets the ball inside 50. Great mark under pressure. Taken by Fletcher Bennett. Wastes no time across the face of goal. Trying to spread the NWFL, the NTFA. Thompson decides to go back the opposite direction, using the angles. Over to Boyd. They're getting some run. McKenzie with his kick. It might actually have been Smith, to be honest. Now it lands in the hands of Gillow. Gillow can use the ball well. Does. Gives it to his teammate. They're looking for the target being Hines. Why wouldn't you? But chipping in and taking a good mark across that back half was Bo Clemens.
He's done some good things today, Clemens.
Just reads the play well, the young man. Very athletic too.
Well and truly showing us why he was picked. So Miller Young to Emick French. And then French goes short to Bo Nash. Nash to the wing. Pack forming. Jake Smith tried to take a specky. And it was illegal in the end. Elphingston.
He was pushed in the back. Got the free kick. Goes towards the pole. He was 2-on-1, but he's good enough to win the contest. Handballs the ball to a running player in Lockwood who has the shot on goal. Takes the opportunity. Puts the goal. And his name forever etched in history. And also into the newspaper, The Advocate, on Monday's edition. So congratulations to Evan Lockwood. And that's going to hurt. That's like a little dagger into the back of the NTFA, because we're deep now into the third term, 19 and a half minutes. 9-6-60 plays 4-12-36. It's 15 shots to 16, believe it or not. Advantage quite considerably. 24 points. Advantage in the NWFL, Jacob.
Yeah, good response there by the home team. So this time, Elphingston and Harper to do battle in the ruck. Gee, Elphingston just tapped it with no pressure whatsoever. Kick smothered there was Mackenzie. NWFL work it towards Young, who goes towards the pocket, but the NTFA are able to exit after Boyd takes a mark. That's a good kick. Powerfreeman handballs it off and they work it through hands. Here's Isaac Thompson finding Burling. Back inside to Jake Smith.
This is better.
Has a couple to take on. He got the handball away, but it was to no man's land. Jake Smith then toe pokes it to Tabu. Was able to get through a couple, and that is a good measured kick to Powerfreeman. He did everything but hang on to it. Ball spills out, and being tackled there was Warren.
It was actually
going to be
smart.
A free kick.
Yeah, he sort of ducked into it a little bit, to be honest. I think he fooled the umpire. He's going to receive the free kick. Lockie Warren, that just shows his experience as a senior footballer. That's a poor kick, though. He's looking for Ryan. Nash having to do all the dirty work. Comes out to Harper. Top of the 50 goal square. Free kick being given away. It was. Going to Hines. Might be able to get one back. And McInnes is not happy with the decision that was made by the umpire. And we might have a bit of a look on the replay. It'll come up shortly. In the meantime, looking to get their 5th goal out of the 16 shots that they have had. Jake Hines duly delivers. And that's his 3rd. And Jacob, they've all come in the 3rd term.
They have.
And they call this the Premiership quarter. And he's standing up. The leader, Jakey Hines.
Can't be long left in the 3rd term, though, but
18 points of difference, so they are within striking distance.
3-0 in this modern game.
Absolutely. Thorpe might be giving an inspired address at 3/4 time.
So Lee and Cody Thorpe to do battle in the ruck here. Lee convincingly won the hit out. Harper trying to get his mitts on it. Coming in to help out was Bailey Bogue in the end. So Bailey Bogue inside 50. There was a leap there, but it wasn't successful by Millie Young, I think it was. And we're going to get a ball up close to the NWFL's goals.
Young on the run, doesn't get it. No one able to clear. Holding the ball in with his body weight. It's Blair Ryan on top of Joby Harper. And the ball up. Free kick. Pushing him out of the way. It's Braden DeVries. So the free kick goes the NTFA. They're wasting no time here. A little spotter bother. They'll bring it back the same direction which it came through Fletcher Bennett. That kick's not a good one. To Poley. Up to the task. Gets it to Nash. Kicks it off the ground. Ball comes back to French. Great smother. Been applied by Alexander. Ball comes to ground. Back out to Egger. If anyone could kick it from there, it's certainly him. And that he does. Sharon Egger. Check side. The Ubanana. And that was impressive work from a standing start, Jacob Bevis.
He's having a good season when it comes to goals. It was, 5 goals a few weeks ago against Latrobe? If my memory serves me right.
He's just a smart operator, and he can work within a phone booth. He doesn't have to... I mean, he's got a heap of athletic potential, but I'm not sure that he usually maximises it. Nonetheless, his agility... his decision-making, and when he executes, generally it's just spot on, and it's just brought him back out to that 24-point margin.
So Lee beats Cody Thorpe in the ruck. Spills out of the hands there of Mackenzie. Here's Blair Ryan getting through traffic and giving it off to Bo Nash. He just kicks it to space. Now, Emic French, if he's good enough, he can run onto it, and that he does. Handballs it off to Bogue, who just fumbles it momentarily, but was able to
good
regain and then give it off to Blair Ryan. Nearly marked there by Young, I think it was.
That was a free
It's been paid. It's been paid a mark. Miller Young. So he's done enough to impress the umpires, and he's going to have a shot.
Oh, there's a 50-metre given as well.
Directly in front.
I'll go to the replay. We'll have a look at that in a moment. I think you can put that one down. Look at that handball by Bogue. That was amazing through traffic. No, he was pushed.
And he makes no mistake, Miller Young. They kick away again, the NWFL. He's a good young player, Miller Young.
Yeah, he just missed out on the Allies selection. Went up to Brisbane last week and played in the game. He played reasonably well. Fortunately, he wasn't one of the 3 boys that were selected from Tasmania by the Allies squad. But he's putting himself in the picture. And he comes from reasonable pedigree too. So the Rawlings, Brady and Jade, uncles. Another Casey, so he's their sister. Ball back in the middle, back out to 30 points.
Neither ruckman hit it, really. And then a high tackle paid. It's going to be Bailey Bogue against Harper. So Bogue just pops it over the top for Blair Ryan. He's done some good things today. Sets it up inside 50. Chance for Miller Young again, perhaps.
Is he pushed again? I think he is.
It's going to be a free.
He's been pushed again underneath the football, according to the umpires. So, again, we'll look at that's Jesse Buller that's given away a second free kick, I think. And these 2 boys are both part of the Tasmanian under-18 Devils pathway.
So Miller Young from Devonport sends it on its way. It's a good kick. He's got a couple in a minute. And the NWFL are starting to race away on the verge of 3/4 time.
Uh, 36 points, I think, is the differential now. 6 goals. And just a moment ago, it was only 18 points. So in the space of 3 minutes, not even that. What are we, up to the 27-minute mark?
It's gone a bit longer than the previous.
So, I'm 100% sure what's going on.
A few more goals, maybe, or
possibly.
A few more stoppages.
It's only 1 extra scoring shot to the NWFL. However, if you take away the 4... Oh, well, both sides have got 4 rush behinds today. So it's still only 1 more scoring shot to the NWFL. And there's 3/4 time. Kicking the ball off the ground was Hines at 3/4 time. That's the younger brother, that's Jaden. So it's 12-6, 78. The NWFL to 5-12, 42. The NTFA. So in that quarter, 5 goals, 2. 5 goals, 2 to the NWFL, 3 goals, 5. So 8 scoring shots to 7. The margin now is 36 points. And the NTFA, Jacob Bevis, currently being addressed by their captain. He's asking for some form of inspiration, or trying to give them some form of inspiration with regards to their effort. They're just dropping every now and again throughout the course of each of the terms.
It wasn't a bad quarter from them, but then they just dropped off towards the end, and all of a sudden the margin has blown out beyond 30. So they've got a bit of work to do to come back in this one.
They certainly do. So some better players for the NWFL and NTFA. I might have a look at the NTFA first, Jacob, and get your thoughts with regards to the NWFL. Well, Jake Hines in that quarter obviously stood up. He hasn't really impacted the game until the 3rd quarter, and that quarter he had 3 goals, 2 to his name, and he was also involved with 1 or 2 of the rush behind, so could have had more. Jess Buller was in there for the wrong reasons. He gave away a few free kicks, the young man. 2 of those being to Miller Young, and they ended up as being 2 goals. So that sort of wiped the work that Jake Hines had done. Jovi Harper again, Fletcher Bennett. I like the work of Burling and McKenzie, especially down back, along with Jacob Boyd. Alex Tubb, who's providing an extra mobile target up front. Benny Height and Bailey Gillow have also been strong in and around the ball. Isaac Thompson, Hunter Farrelly, I noticed throughout the course of that quarter. And also young man in Ethan Petterwood. Possibly didn't have the impact that he had in the first half. Nonetheless, when he does get his hands on the football, he uses it very well. NWFL perspective, Jacob.
So you could throw a blanket over these players, I reckon. It's there's been quite a few contributors for the NWFL. I really like Bowen Clemens' game today, though. He's been really good in defence. Brasendale, well, he's kept the tools quiet. And then Blair Ryan, Sharon Egger, French has had some moments. Bailey Bogue, Alex Lee, of course, dominating in the ruck, and the list goes on, to be honest.
Yeah, that's absolutely. On the ball, Bo Nash has been absolutely outstanding today. And then you've got people like who have been central to their clubs, but also have impacted today, but just in a quiet measure. People like Emic French.
Yes.
Yep.
He's having a good season.
Yeah, Finn McInnes, as you mentioned before. Liam Davis just down back, just possibly a steady hand for the NWFL. And then you've got people like Darcy Brasendale is keeping the big monsters for the NTFA quiet. We're going to take a break, ladies and gentlemen, from Wilson Park's home here in Penguin, where we see the NWFL in the men's fixture. The Tasmanian Representative Series, 6 goals advanced to the NTFA. It's 12-6-78 to 5-12-42. We'll be back very shortly for the final turn.
It's been paid. It's been paid to Mark. Really young.
He was pushed.
He makes no mistake, Miller Young. Some good things today. Sets it up inside 50. Chance for Miller Young again, perhaps.
He pushed again.
Yes. For the free. Sends it on its way. It's a good kick. He's got a couple in a minute.
Welcome back wherever you are to the AFL Tas live stream for the Tasmanian Representative Series. It's the first round. It's NWFL versus the NTFA. Earlier games today we had the under-19s Road Safety Council of Tasmania. NWFL winning by 39 points, 10-9-69 to the NTFA 4-6-30. And the women's Terry White Kemmart fixture, it was the NWFL getting over by the barest of margins, 5-6-36 to the NTFA 4-11-35, and currently by 36 points it's the NWFL. Jacob Bevis to take us underway, last quarter.
Here we go, so we're underway. Burling gets it to Jake Smith, handballs it back to Burling, who then looks to the other side in the direction of Brown. He's got DePoli, Q-Bank to beat. He collects, tries to fend him off. How does the umpire adjudicate this? It's a free. It's been good today, Ollie. And he gets rewarded with a free kick there for the tackle.
He'll be one in the mix for best on ground. There's no doubt about that. Further afield, I think that's Nash. Nash, both teammates for Ulverston, towards Elphingston. Unable to take the mark. Ball comes to ground. Ryan on his non-dominant side. Actually, it lands in the hands of Ryan. So who was that that kicked the ball? On the far side. Have to get the old bushels out. Have a bit of a look. That's who it was. Very similar in stature. Jackie Rushton. Yep. So Blair Ryan will be having the shot on goal. Very similar in stature. Same skin complexion as well too, Jacob.
Yes.
And within the first minute, he stabs at it. Splits the middle. And Blair Ryan adds a second to his name. It's 2-1 for the Devonport midfielder. And that margin has gone out to a comfortable 7 goals. And Peter Gutwin and company down there are looking a little bit disillusioned with what is going on in the men's fixture in the NWFL versus NTFA. And currently, Jacob, a clean sweep beckons Gary Carpenter in the NWFL.
That's right. It's been a good day so far for the home team. So back in the middle, Tubb and Lee in the ruck. Lee wins the hit out, taps it in the direction of Bogue, and then gives it off to Nash. Lee handballing it to Blair Ryan, who just kicked the goal moments ago. Tries to hit up Rushton, but did well there, Fletcher Bennett. And now he's getting his own footy. Feeds the handball away, and the NTFA look to move it on this outer side. Here's Harper. Wastes no time getting the kick down the ground. Now they go inside 50. Oh. That's a good punch by Lockie Warren. Now the ball flirting with the boundary line. It's been picked up by the NWFL. And now they're going to attack.
Nash feeds it by hand. Bogue comes inboard. And he finds DeVries between 3 NTFA players. Comes out wide. That's Bond. Oh, got a paddock to himself. That's Kelly. What's he going to do? Split the middle. So Lockie Kelly, sharpshooter from Devonport. All too easy. But in fact, I reckon it was that kick that came into DeVries. And it might have been through Bogue's effort there. There it is there on the replay. Beautiful kick. He was between 3 players. Get the ball out wide, transfer the play. And what are we out? 48 points being the margin. 14-6-90. Only at the 3.5 minute mark. 5-12-42. NTFA. It'll be a disappointing day for the NTFA if they go down by an extended margin after losing the first 2 in very competitive contests, Jacob.
They've got so many avenues to goal, don't they, the NWFL? We're seeing that this afternoon. So Lee beats Tubb in the ruck, taps it as far as Mackenzie. Just couldn't quite get an effective kick away. Now Emick French gives it off to Nash. Inside 50, nearly marking it. There was Kelly. And now the ball has been locked inside 50. So stoppage. Perhaps another chance for the NWFL. Umpire sees something he doesn't like in the ruck, and it's going to go the way of Elphingston. Yet to kick one today, despite switching forward at times when Alex Lee's been in the ruck. It's directly in front.
A bit tiggy touch, what I would have thought.
Doesn't quite make the distance, but it doesn't matter. Taking the mark there for the NWFL was Lockie Kelly.
Based on his last evidence of his last shot, I guarantee he's going to get that one.
So he's got the check side, but it works. So they continue to dominate the NTFA into the ground.
So they've kicked 7-2 to 3-5 in the second half. NWFL margin now out to 54 points. They've capitulated. They were within striking distance, within 3 goals, just prior to three-quarter time. There was an extra 3 minutes. NWFL 3 goals, Jacob, and they've utilised that momentum start of the fourth quarter to assert their dominance. And Lee takes it out of the ruck. Nash, French applies the tackle on Hyatt. Going nowhere, just centre forward for the NTFA. Lee beating Thorpe in the ruck. Getting his handball released was Graham. Off the boot of Lee. Ball goes forward. Buller in a contest there with Bond. Miller beating Buller but loses his feet. But gets it back to McInnes. Hands it to Bond, who's under a hell of a lot of pressure from Riley. They're going to release here. Harper back to Gillow. Gillow under pressure. Looking for Riley. It's up to the task. And the umpire will say, I'll have it. And we'll have a ball up. And we're coming up to the 7-minute mark. 96 plays 42. Final term. Jacob Bevis.
Liam Thorpe. Lee wins the hit out. Here's Quayle, the co-captain. Tries to get a kick towards Ryan, but he's got Charles Worth to contend with. Buller now. Pushing the back. Umpire says, free kick going the way. Just pull up. Goes towards the flank in the Dylan Riley direction. Jaden Hines there as well, but falls into the hands of Davies, but he runs out of room. So boundary throw in.
Yeah, smart play there by Davies. He was right next to the boundary line, so he decided to just take it through over the boundary. Boundary throw in. Lee beating Harper. Hines gets it out to McKenzie. McKenzie's kick, end over end. Fed out to Hines. Again, that came through Farrelly. Jaden Hines misses to the near side. Actually, umpires asked for the ball to come back here. Just wanted to check that it was one behind. So NWFL have got to bring the ball all the way back. It was. So Jaden Hines gets the score.
Warren sends it short to Polly Qbank. And now Davies. So they're on the outer side. Emick French just receives a chip kick. Decides to go back. McInnes. A little bit unsure. In the end, kicks it out wide to Liam Davies. Davies now kicking it to the outer side. There was a couple of flies that falls out the back to Jake Smith. Handballs it off to Charles Worth. They continue to work it through foot now, the NTFA. And McKenzie gives it off. Chance here for Bennett. Inside 50, nearly marked by Hines. Not quite. He's going to get the free kick anyway.
He was under quite some duress being applied by Lockie Warren. Changes plenty here for the NTFA. So Hines directly in front. Be kicking from 40. A little bit of right to left. Hangs it out to the right. And that's where it stays. And unfortunately, that's 3 goals. 5 to his name. The captain. The NTFA. They bring the ball forward. NWFL. Good run on there by Bond. He's choosing not to. He's got the ball back inboard. That was Bogue that was coming out. Now from French to DePoli. They're asking for the ball back. Bond also asking for the football. He decides to go inboard and finds McInnes. We'll go back to DePoli. Bogue. Oh, they're toying with him. Got an opportunity here. Finds Nash. An interesting headband on. He must have had a knock at some description around the The schnoz. Ball comes back to McInnes. Goes wide. Davies. Good kick. Who's that land into the hands of? Number 30. That's right. That's the sharpshooter. The boy from the Kelly gang out of Devonport. Lachlan. A little bit too smart for his own liking. Follows back up. Now he goes across the body. Is that going to work? It's magic. Not quite. Top of the goal square. Picking it up. Kicking it off one step. Going very high. But keeping it out to the right is Logan Elphingston for one behind. He's worked his way into the game a little bit, Logan.
He has,
the game's gone on.
It was always going to be interesting to see how him and Lee would work together today. So Smith kicks it out wide. Buller receives a handball. Kicks it to centre half, back to Harper.
Good tackle.
In trouble there was Burling. Ball comes free. Lee received it. McInnes handballs it off to Ethan Bond. He's got a man calling for it out wide. And it's Carmichael Peters-Chapman, who instead of taking the shot himself, kicks it short to De Vries. Forward pocket for the NWFL. He's going to square it up. Back to Carmichael Peters-Chapman. How about that? Uncontested grab. And a chance to kick his third goal of the afternoon. He's well and truly within range. And he makes no mistake. Another one for the home team. And they have gone over 100 points in their total.
As you mentioned, that's his third for the day. He's only missing the one from third quarter.
Yes.
But he's been dead straight. He's had 3 opportunities. He's taken the most of each of those opportunities. He's a beautiful kick. And that has reciprocated in him being with 3 goals to his name. Carmichael Peters-Chapman. It's a name that we will hear for a while in and around Tasmanian football circles.
So back in the middle, Harper and Elphingston. Elphingston taps it down to Nash. They win another clearance here, the NWFL. It's a good kick to the man we just spoke of, Peters-Chapman. Goes inside 50, doesn't find a target. Trying to run with it there was Bennett, but he went without the footy in the end. Ball bobbling around. NTFA under all sorts of pressure. Smith handballs it out wide to Bennett. And then he finds the safety of Powerfriman, who gives it off to Harper, and he goes down the ground to Buller.
Plays on. Handball's intercepted. Davies brings it back inboard. And it's now in the hands. I think that might have been Clemens. Kick. Making some work there for Peters-Chapman. It's up to the task. Knocks it down. Holding his ground was Topoli. He handballs it over the top of his head. He was waiting for his teammate to come through on Brasendale. He was a bit slow off the mark, so he misses the opportunities. Now, with the NTFA through Farrelly, his kick forward. Hines competes, loses the football in the contest. Front and centre was Nash. Feeds his running defender. Looking for options. Plenty of them. Elphingston, the target. Back to Nash. Working in the calculations of being best on ground as Nash just threw his disposal count. Ooh, is that Clemens taken high? Play on, says the umpire. Playing the tackle was Bennett and Clemens. And the umpire says, give it to me. We'll have a ball up. 103 plays 44. Advantage 50 by 59 points to the NWFL.
We might get a rinse and repeat here.
15 minutes gone. When's the next match for the SFL? The NTFA.
That's a good question. Can't remember off the top of my head.
I'll get back to you on that.
Here's Ryan. Chance to kick. His third goal, and he wastes no mistake, wastes no time makes no mistake. He is having an afternoon, just like his team.
3 second-half goals to the midfielder. Also very much a strong forward in his own right. And he's made an impact in that second half, Jacob. He's kicked 3 goals. So 1 in the third and 2 in the fourth. Try to navigate when they play the SFL. NTFA, it's 44, 5-14 at 44 to 17-7, 109. Harper, Elphinston wins it down this time. They feed it out the back. Young man, Tom Graham, stands and delivers by foot. French is first there, front and centre. Goes backwards to go forwards. Hits Liam Davies. Good decision. Look at that kick. McInnes, Buller, giving away the free kick. Advantage to Ryan in the NWFL. To Poley, top of the 50. It's outside his region. So he gives it to Egger on the run. This is a training drill. An absolute training drill right now. They're putting the sword to the NTFA. That's his third. 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fourth. Sharon Egger. You can't give him opportunity because he'll take it. He's a samurai when it comes to the goals. And he'll put anyone to the sword in that fashion, especially deep into the fourth. So 18-7, 115 the NWFL. NTFA 5-14, 44. How'd you go on the next match for the NTFA?
Yeah, well, the NWFL are off to play the SFL on the 27th, and then the NTFA hosting the SFL on the 18th of July. So they've got about, a month, just over a month until their next game. So going without the footy there was Brown. Now Bogue with the footy. He's got Emick French on his outside. Goes through hands to him and then hits up to Polly Cubank, who just plays on, strolls in and doesn't make the most of it.
So to Polly, could have stamped his authority then with regards to his position in this representative match with his second, but he didn't. Harper out towards Hines. Still chasing, placing some pressure. McInnes has won the football now. Comes in board, does a good looking kick. Oh, good interception. That's taken there by Hyatt. He's coming to his own in the fourth term. Over the back to Hines. Open goal, beckons. Makes the umpire do some work. Nonetheless, he's got his fourth to his name. And I reckon he can thank his lucky stars there to be able to receive that fourth one. Nonetheless, he's been a target up front for the NTFA, in particular in this second half.
It's been really the only shining light, really, for the visitors, just about.
Just got some presence about him, Jake. The way in which he presents himself. Doesn't take a backward step. Used to play off half back, then into the midfield. Now he's, I suppose, to the mid to latter stages of his career. Now playing as a key fixture up forward. 116 plays 50.
Elphinston beats Harper in the ruck, taps it down the throat of DeBolly Cubank, and then he gives it off to Blair Ryan. Nice kick to Carmichael Peters Chapman.
That's a poor delivery.
Kicks it towards half forward, but it's been cut off there by McKenzie. Sideways kick to Graham. Graham just assessing his options, and now he decides to kick it into the centre square. Not a bad kick to McKenzie. Handballs it off to the running Charlesworth. They go inside 50, looking for Hines, and he's got it.
Just while he's going back to take his shot on goal, I'm wondering whether Nick Probert, who's coaching the SFL, has made his way up to where he's from, believe it or not, his home turf, into northwest Tasmania, and he's coaching the SFL. I wonder if he's having a good look at the NWFL team today, as well as the NTFA, obviously.
It's a good-looking kick.
That's his fifth.
He's got 5, a bag of 5. He's the highest goal kicker on the ground, but unfortunately for him, it's in a losing team.
5 goals, 5 to his name today. He had 2 opportunities in which he would usually put away in that second term, and that may have been the difference with regards to the momentum that we have seen the NWFL create and move forward with, in particular in that third term, or the latter half of that third term, now obviously well into the fourth. We're 21 minutes in, 116 plays 56.
Elphingston gets the hit out. Bogue was able to fumble it to Blair Ryan, who gives it off to Clemens. Kicks it towards Peters Chapman, couldn't mark, falls to DePoli Cupank, handballs it off to Elphingston, but he turns it over. Brown now gives it off to McKenzie. Now Harper, they go inside 50, the NTFA. Brasendale trying to get to it, Quayle there as well, but here's a chance for Farrelly. Goes for the shot, Hines just couldn't quite mark it in play, and it goes through for a behind.
Good attempt though by Hines on the last line as the ball goes into the pack and off the defender's fist over the boundary line, top of the 50-metre arc, far side of the ground, scoreboard side for the NTFA. Harper follows up his ruck work by applying a tackle on Bo Clemens. Had a good game today, representative level. Coach Troy Davies would be mightily pleased. Noticed Andy Lee, Troy Davies involved along with Kurt Byard. NWFL, maybe Nick Hesitatis. Ooh, taken out it was Bo Clemens. No, says the umpire. So the ball's in the hands of Thompson. Kicks inside forward 50. No one able to take the mark. Good leap there by Brasendale. Ball goes wide, finds a sanctuary of the boundary line for NWFL, deep inside the forward 50 for the NTFA. 57 plays, 116. We're coming up to the 23rd minute mark of the final term.
So a ball in deep inside the end, or just on the skirts of NTFA's forward 50. Might get another stoppage here. We do. Harper applying a tackle on Bailey Bogue. Umpire throws it in the air. Neither Elphingston or Thorpe hit it. Umpire's seen a free kick and it's play on advantage. They work it through hands. Emick French was able to evade one. They continue to work it through hands here. Lockwood involved, gives it off. Inside 50 through the foot of Bond. And taking his opponent high there was Miller Young. It was Charlesworth.
Charlesworth received the free kick across the shoulder. Goes wide. Using the opposite side of the ground as opposed to the grandstand. Alexander kicks the ball long down the line. It's not to the advantage of his teammates though. McInnes brings the ball back in for the NWFL. No mark has been taken. It's taken away though by McKenzie. Feeds to the running teammate. That's Harper. Feigns a couple of handballs, then comes inboard. Finds Boyd. Boyd's kick across into the forward 50 has allowed his teammate to find Bailey Gillow, who will now have an opportunity to have a shot on goal. And just can't pick up that player over the far side of the ground. You get the number there, Jacob?
Didn't quite. No, that's not helping you out.
Oh, that's Palfreyman, I think it was. Yep.
I think you're right.
So, Bailey Gillow will have a shot on goal. Got a trusty left foot. Usually draws the football. Keep it out to that left goal post. That's not a bad looking kick. Well done to Bailey Gillow. That's a good finish. That's his first for the day. As we start to get a little bit crisper here at Wilson Homes Park, part of the Dial Park Regional Sports Complex here in Penguin. A reasonable crowd here too today. Seeing the three fixtures, the under-19s, the women's and now the men's, the NWFL have got the chocolates in all three grades. 36 points in the first game. I think it was 1 point in the second, 39 in the first game, in fact, 1 point in the second, and now they're clear dominant victors in the men's. Ball's in the hands of Topoli.
Short kick to Elphingston. Thought Elphingston was going to give it back to him then, but he decides to ignore and then go out wide. No mark taken. Kick intended for Miller Young, but the ball's at ground level, just squirting around for the moment. And we're going to get a stoppage.
So ball up very shortly. 53 points, I think, is the margin. 116, plays 63. Boyd's on top of it. Loses the football, comes out to Peters Chapman. It's non-dominant side. Endo ran. Look at Harper's work there. There's a ball come off the ground. Jeez, he just stuck the mitts out, took the mark. Oh, chipping in is Eggert. You don't want to be giving him an opportunity. He goes backwards to go forwards, and that's smart play. And that lands in the hands of his teammate on the far side. Just trying to, I think it's French. It is. And French will be having the shot on goal. 27 minutes just ticked over into the final term. Kick by French. Might make it 59. Splits the middle. Let's make it 59. 19-9. Plays 8-15 at the 27.5 minute mark of the final term.
We've had a day out today, the NWFL. Pretty even spread of goal kickers too. Plenty of multiples.
It certainly is. Interested to see who they choose as their best on field today. They got a plethora of options.
Good luck to them, I say.
Yeah, good. Exactly. Bogue, Topoli, Nash. And you got goal kickers, Ryan, Egger, Peters Chapman. Miller Young's been a surprise packet. Ball goes up, comes straight back down. I don't think it's going anywhere. As Bogue has been tackled to the ground. And as Jacob Bevis would say, we'll have a rinse and repeat. I'll put you in the hands of Jacob Bevis at the 28.5 minute mark of the final term.
Elphingston beats Harper in the ruck. Bustling his way through there was Burling. Kicks it out wide. Trying to run onto it there was Graham. There's the siren. Well, the NTFA got the better of the NWFL last year, but the tables have been turned, and in dominant fashion too. The NWFL 19-8-122 defeat the NTFA 8-15-63 at Dial Park.
Goals for the NWFL in that final quarter. They kicked 7 goals, 2. The NTFA, they kicked 3 goals, 3 in that final term, and we'll go to the goal kickers and best players very shortly. But the goal kickers for the NWFL, we had 2, in fact we had 3 players with 3 goals. Blair Ryan, Sharon Egger, and also Carmichael Peters Chapman. 2 to Miller Young and Lachlan Kelly. And single goal kickers to Bonash, Emig French, Oliver Topoli, Evan Lockwood, Bailey Bogue, and Geordie Quayle. For the NTFA, well, there was one dominant forward for them, and that was their captain, and Jake Hines. He kicked 5 goals, 5 for the day. Really should have had 7 or 8 to his name. And all of those goals, they came in the second half of today's proceedings because he didn't touch the football in the first quarter. Single goal kickers, Dylan Riley, Alex Tubb, and Bailey Gillow in that final one in the fourth term. For some better players in the NWFL, Jacob Evans.
Jeez, this is a tough task. I mean, if I had to pick, well, I'd probably go Bo. This is in no particular order, but Bo Nash, Blair Ryan, DePoli Qbank. Let's go down the page. Probably got to put Bogue and Clemens, and Lee had a day out as well today. Agree with that?
Yeah, no, I think it's pretty good. That's pretty good. So it's going to be very difficult for who they choose as the best on ground. Nonetheless, the NWFL committee will be pretty happy with what they saw today across the board because they've come away with a clean sweep. For the NTFA, better players for mine. Well, I thought Jacob Boyd was pretty good. Joby Harper tried exceptionally hard today. Jacob Boyd across half-back. Fletcher Bennett popped in and out. Mackenzie, along with Jake Smith through the middle. I like the work of a young fella in Bailey Gillow, left foot. Ethan Petterwood at times. Hunter Farrelly showed a little bit. Would have liked to have seen a little bit more from players like Brody Pulverman and Cody Thorpe.
He was really quiet today, Thorpe, wasn't he?
Yeah, he just wasn't that dominating presence that you thought he could be, in particular as their target up forward, as Peter Gutwin asks them and ushers them across for the presentations. But their best player most likely will go to their captain in Jake Hines, who had the opportunity to kick a couple in the second term, but he ended up with 5 goals, 5 out of 8 goals, 15. So without Jake Hines, that would have been a very sorry sight. So I'm going to go with Jake Hines for the best player for the NTFA. For the NWFL, who are you picking?
I'll stick with Ollie DePoli.
I'll go with possibly Bo Nash.
Okay.
That or Bo.
Yes.
Hopefully we're able to pick up the mic from outside. Fletcher Bennett is the winner for the NTFA. And Jordan Quiet. So that was the Emergency Services Award. So Geordie Quayle and Fletcher Bennett. Bailey, number 17, Bailey Gillow. So Bailey Gillow was for the NTFA. And Bailey Bogue for the NWFL. Best on ground today. And they're about to conclude their presentations out on the field. Congratulations just been given to the NWFL for taking a clean sweep today. So a quick recap of earlier in today's proceedings. In the Road Safety Council of Tasmania Under-19s fixture, we saw the NWFL 10-9-69 winners by 39 points over the NTFA 4-6-30. Our best on ground's been Taj Lillico for the NWFL and Lockie Taylor for the NTFA. In the women's Terry White Kmart fixture, it was an enticing, very competitive contest, Jacob. Going down by the barest of margins was the NTFA women's, and what they wanted to do this year was bridge the gap. Well, they've certainly done that, and they are super competitive. And I'll look forward to seeing what they can do against the SFL very shortly in their next fixture. But they went down by, as I mentioned, at 1 point. 5-6-36 in the NWFL, NTFA 4-11. They possibly kicked themselves out of it. 35. Winners there were Courtney Hingston and Ellie Polk with the best on grounds for each of the respective sides. And in the men's fixture this afternoon, there was a dominant display, in particular after half-time by the NWFL. 59 points being the margin. NWFL, as Jacob said before, 19-8, 122. 59-point victors over the NTFA, 8-15, 63. They definitely had their opportunities. They just weren't able to convert. And without Jake Hines up front, possibly wouldn't have been as respectable as what the score looks like. But for the NTFA, best on ground was Bailey Gillow. For the NWFL, Bailey Bogue. Well, I've enjoyed your company today, Jacob. What do you think for the following two games and fixtures in the Tasmanian AFL Tasmania Representative Series for both the NWFL and the NTFA?
Yeah, well, the SFL is going to be the hardest bit for them, isn't it? They're going to be stacked with talent, so it'll be interesting to see how the NWFL match up at North Hobart Oval at the end of the month. So, can't wait for that. Yeah,
they're good. They've got to travel this year, and they're coached by former NWFL representative, former coaster from Burnie. That's Nick Probert, former Sandy Bay and Collingwood and Burnie Dockers premiership captain, coach over that period of time. And so Nick Probert knows a hell of a lot about NWFL football, Northwest football. And the boys this year have to travel there. SFL came up last year, were deemed to be the underdogs and got one over the NWFL. So under the tutelage of Probert. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's in and around the Dole Park Regional Sports Complex here today. In regards to the women, NWFL versus the SFL, I reckon it'll be another good contest. In fact, I'd actually possibly give the SFL favourite status.
Probably, yeah.
With this, in particular now that they've got a lot of the VFLW footballers.
That's true. But then again, the NWFL have been more than competitive in recent years in the women. So it'll be two really good games at the end of this month.
Yeah, so we look forward to that particular fixture in the NWFL. Now the 19s will be taking on the SFL. And again, there's some beautiful or fantastic talent coming through the Northwest and definitely down in the South. So we're looking forward to seeing what they can do. There's a couple of boys that are down there that are now representing the Allies. So looking forward to seeing what Charlie Bovell and Young Beams can do against, say, some of the players that the NWFL have been able to show today against the NTFA. Jacob Evers, thank you very much for joining us up here on the Northwest Coast. I hope you enjoyed
Thanks for having me.
Opportunity.
No, it's been great, and hopefully do it again sometime.
Yeah, welcome back anytime, and I look forward to that. To Dan on the camera, thank you very much, Dan. I hope you've enjoyed today's proceedings and you're not too frozen solid. It is getting a little bit frosty here. It started off in that manner, a bit dewy, got the sunshine out, and we're back to, again, a nice winter's evening. Very mild winter's evening, one would say, too, because there's not a lot of wind up here on the northwest. So, safe passage to you, Daniel, and to Ash and those in the studio. Thank you very much for your support of the AFL Tas live stream of the Tasmanian Representative Series. Round 1, a clean sweep to the NWFL from the Dole Park Regional Sports Complex. We look forward to catching you next time around, wherever you may be, on AFL Tas live stream.